Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And today I'm coming to you with my very last Lorwyn draft. We're going to try to have a lot of fun with this one. You see, right after my rank gets reset at the start of every month, I like to do a little series that I call Going For It. My very favorite thing to do in limited Magic is build-arounds, value engines, maybe a little bit too much splashing, and always somehow getting away with it. Pushing the boundaries, but not pushing them so far that we lose miserably. A lot of people have been talking about Lorwyn being a very on-rails kind of drafting experience where you have to be in one of 5 different lanes, basically. But I actually think there's a lot that you can do outside of the main archetypes. So today we're going to try to find something to do with whatever the packs give us that's a little bit different from anything you've ever done before in Lorwyn. The goal is to at least make our gems back. So we're going to obey limited fundamentals. We're not going to get silly with it, but we're going to try to have a heck of a lot of fun. Before we jump into it, I want to share a comment of the day from user Axel the Fox, who commented during the Arena Direct videos. I just wanted to say thank you very, very, very much for your videos. I really enjoy them, and my drafting skills have increased immensely. In fact, I just went 7-1 and won 2 boxes. You're the best. No, you're the best, Axel the Fox. Congratulations on your boxes, and very humbling to hear that. Super kind of you to say. And I really, really appreciate you sharing your success with me and with our community here. And if you, the viewer, would like to be considered for a future comment of the day feature, it's very easy. All you have to do is comment. And I can assure you it is quite a high honor. All right, let's start drafting. All right. So in going for it, we're really hoping to open something silly that we can be silly with, but not something so terrible that it's unplayable. So now we have to decide, where does Rhyme, Fire, Torque fall on that spectrum? When it enters, you choose a creature type. I'm sure I haven't carefully read this card in a month, honestly. When a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, put a charge counter on this artifact. Okay. Remove 3 charge counters. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. Yeah, this kind of card in limited tends to just be really do nothing. It reads like, hey, maybe I could do something with this, maybe it could be fun, but in my experience of going for it over the years, you can't really do copying instants and sorceries as a non-ETB card in limited. It just is never going to happen. Lava Leaper also is way below the pale. So we are going to probably just take a strong 2-drop here and just postpone the decision a little bit. I kind of like that Vivid Tap card. I actually think that could be kind of sweet, but the stun counters card, but it's not really a build around. It's more of just like, this is a little bit of an underpowered Vivid card. Here is something I've really wanted to do though. I really have wanted to make the Fairies deck work. I drafted one very bad Fairies deck in the early format, was kind of confused about why it was so bad, and then it turned out that the stats on that deck were just terrible and everyone was having a similar experience. And so I haven't really revisited it since then. But I think playing on your opponent's turn can be really sweet and really fun. And hopefully I know enough more about the format now that I could try to make it work. So I think I'll take this Canavaggia Guardian, and our hope is that we're going to wheel Voracious Tome-Skimmer. So I think let's see if, and then we could even play the Creekwood Safe Right probably in that deck. So let's see if it's open. Canavaggia Guardian is a powerful card on its own, and wow, we just got past a Voracious Tome-Skimmer. So again, I want to emphasize, this is a don't try this at home kind of a draft. There's a Thought-Left Lieutenant in here. There's an Assert Perfection in here. You're not really supposed to do the Fairies deck. If Lorwyn is on flashback and you just scrolled down to my channel to the last Lorwyn draft and clicked on this one to figure out what to do, this isn't it. Keep scrolling. Go see one of my Mythic ranked drafts a little bit below this one. But this is definitely what to do if you want to have some fun. So I'm going to take this Voracious Tome-Skimmer, and it can go together with Canavaggia Guardian and Creekwood Safe Right. We're hoping to wield the other Voracious Tome-Skimmer, and we're going to see if we can muscle our way into this play on your opponent's turn lane. Here we have several different options. Wow, there's a Moon Vigil Adherence to go with my Creekwood Safe Right. Yeah, there's always a little bit of pain in going for it. So I think Iron Shield Elf is nice because if you are messing around this much and playing underpowered cards and less powerful synergies, you do absolutely need to have a good curve, a high creature count, and obey your limited fundamentals. So Blightrot goes with our play on the opponent's turn plan, but I think I might just want Iron Shield Elf. It is very possible that I wheel something here, maybe a Summit Sentinel or a Prideful Feastling, maybe a Dose of Dawnglow, though, which can be played on the opponent's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So seeing 2 cards back from this pack, I think I will take the Iron Shield Elf. It's not the best card, but having a creature that is a 2-drop and is pretty strong is essential. It's just cannot overstate how essential it is when you're messing around with understated cards. Okay, look, we don't want to get totally ridiculous with it and start absolutely tunnel visioning on one game plan. I mean, there's always a nightmare scenario that someone else takes the Voracious Tome-Skimmer from pack 2 and then we're fighting for fairies, which is not where you want to be. Having said that, this is not a very strong pack overall. I mean, Miss Meadow Council is strong. The rest of the cards are not really good. I don't really want to just suddenly pivot into Kifkin. So I will take this Wild Unraveling. I could also take the Evolving Wilds just to be a little bit more flexible with it. But now we're getting handed a Omni Changeling, which is one of the best cards in the entire set, frankly. I mean, certainly one of the top uncommons in the format. Temporal Cleansing also reassures me that blue is open. I mean, green is probably more open. Really, if we were trying to maximize our win rate, we would have followed a bunch of these cues into green and we would have a pretty boring but probably pretty successful green-based creature deck. But I'm just going to take the Omni Changeling, and I am pretty assured that blue is fairly open. Here we could take Dream Caesar. It is a fairy, but I don't think it's actually synergistic with the other fairy stuff, which might be part of why the fairy deck is not that great. Eclipse Boggart is obviously also bonkers. We could take an Eclipse Boggart and just try to be Grixis or be open to being Grixis. Having said that, I don't want to jump into goblins. I think I want to put the person to my left in goblins and leave fairies as an open lane. So I'm going to take the Swat away. I don't hate it, and it does have flash. Cards with flash are exactly what we're looking for. Here I'll probably take Changeling Wayfinder over the Flaring Cinder. Don't hate Flaring Cinder at all, but I think I'm happier with the Changeling Wayfinder. It can help me with a future splash. I actually wield Rhyme Chill, which is quite nice because it is a card that you play on your opponent's turn. I think the next pack is the one with the Tome-Skimmer, right? So I'm really hoping that that comes back to us. Fingers crossed. No, did someone take the Tome-Skimmer? Are you kidding me? Well, I guess I'll take maybe Stoic Grove Guide. It could be played. I have no idea if I'm actually going to end up in black now, to be honest. You can play kind of mono blue play on your opponent's turn. So maybe I could actually take Stalactite Dagger. The best card is probably the pump spell there. Wow, I can't believe someone else took the Tome-Skimmer. They're raining on my parade. There's Lasting Tarfire, which is a deck that I've wanted to try. Just pick up like 4 of these things and then just a few Blight cards. But I think I'll take the Evolving Wilds here. We did get Dose of Dawnglow back. Dang, I can't believe someone took... This card is... It has a lot of raw power, but it is not good in the set, right? Okay, so what are we going to do to have the most fun here? I'm really not convinced that I'm going to be black. But now probably everyone is in green after what the last pack had in store for us. I could always take Marrow Sky Swimmer or Temporal Cleansing. I don't think I'm on Dawnhand Eulogist here. So, and we don't really have that many play. We only have 1 play on your opponent's turn payoffs, and someone might actually be in fairies. Yeah, this is kind of the nightmare scenario for experiments. I don't really want to jump into Formidable Speaker and just get confused about, you know, what my game plan is. So I'm between Temporal Cleansing and Marrow Sky Swimmer. I think I'll actually take the Sky Swimmer. Just puts 2 bodies on the field. Now we're getting Gloom Ripper. Well, I can probably play Gloom Ripper, right? I can probably take the Gloom Ripper and play it, and then just try to play some Changelings, basically. I think that's actually perfectly respectable. I have 4 Changelings already, and then this itself is an elf, so Gloom Ripper counts itself. Yeah, I can take this. It does mean that black is open from the left, which I guess is a good signal. Now, this is a fairy for the fairies deck, sort of, but it's such a bad one. I might just want to take either Stratosaur or Blossom Bind. I'm between those 2, probably. I have a lot of 5-drops, so probably not Stratosaur for the same reason that we wouldn't play the Illusion Spinners. So maybe I'm just taking Blossom Bind here. I think I'll probably just take the Blossom Bind. So we're basically just, I guess, just going, oh, Disruptor of Currents. That is a wonderful card to open. I don't want to fight for fairies, but if I'm being passed awesome flashcards, then I'm quite happy with that. There's not that much that's making this deck an incredibly exciting experiment, but I have been wanting to play the fairies deck since pretty much week 1, so I think I can just be happy with getting to try out the fairies deck. Here, I think I will take Kulrath Mystic just to have another creature that's better than Summit Sentinel or Blighted Blackthorn. I really don't want Barbed Bloodletter. This is not a deck that's doing a lot of combat. Unfortunately, I don't think Conspire. Maybe if I had pack one, pick one to Conspire, I would just be, you know, bonkers enough to try to build around it. You get to copy all of your non-creature spells, but I don't think I can do the double splash into a terrible card and have it work out well for me. So let's not try that. I love Puka's Eye, but I think here I'm probably on Flaring Cinder. It does card selection for me. I'm really worried that someone else is in fairies at this point. But I did get past this Disruptor of Currents. A Gloomripper into Disruptor of Currents suggests that Dimir is open. I love Puka's Eye, but I really don't have anything that goes with it. So let's go for the Flaring Cinder. Unbury, that's something that can be played on the opponent's turn. But Eclipse Flamekin is so strong. I think it's got to be Eclipse Flamekin. I don't even have that many. As I said before, I don't have that many payoffs. And this can find me Changelings. I really don't have that many Elementals. But I'm not that invested in black, I guess. Oh, Unwelcome Sprite. You're a fairy. Yeah, awesome. I would take the Foraging Wickermaw, but Unwelcome Sprite is just our dream card. That's a fantastic one. Here, I guess I'll take the Boggart Mischief. I mean, I don't think there's really anything in the pack for me. It's very possible that I'm not even playing black, to be honest, but I'm not going to play any of these other cards, I don't think. I mean, maybe I would play the Warren. I don't think I would play. Maybe I'm more likely to end up playing Warren Torchmaster than Boggart Mischief. Okay, I actually believe that. Here, sure, I'll take the Illusion Spinners. Our curve is pretty terrible. Our curve is pretty terrible. I guess I'll take Stratosaur. If I end up in a... Oh, and now we're getting Kulrath Zealot. If I end up in, like, Grixis or something, I'll be happy to have the Land Cycler ability. I don't think we are on Champions of the Perfect. We would need to find quite a lot of elves. But Glamour Gifter is a really good one. Dang, I'm so sad that I didn't wheel that Voracious Tome-Skimmer. So Glamour Gifter is a really good one. I could take Flame Braider and just pivot into Elementals. But that just sounds so not fun. I think I'm just forcing fairies, to be honest. Look, it's the last draft. I know what Elementals is like. I've built a billion Elementals decks. I just want to do something different. So I'm going to take Glamour Gifter. It's a very strong card. Another Champions of the Perfect. Wow. That's so funny. Champions of the Perfect and Morkant's Eyes. I mean, look, we were past the Moon Vigil adherence late, and so we had the evidence that we needed, and then we got a Gloom Ripper from the left. This is the most everyone's probably messing around today because it's the last draft. I guess I'll just take another Iron Shield Elf. There's nothing like a good curve, so I'll just take that one. I wish I could have that Champions of the Perfect. Yeah, don't try to find rhyme or reason in this draft, please. There is none. I guess I'll just take another Blossom Bind here. Technically, I could take Runaway together. I don't have that many Enters effects, though. Probably I'm not playing this Eclipse Flamekin, if we're being honest with ourselves. But I'll just take the Blossom Bind. It's a solid one. I want to play Gleamermite. I want to play Gleamermite. I mean, Dream Harvest is kind of sweet. I don't think this card is actually any good at all. I think it's actually quite terrible. But it's fun. It's fun to play. The question is, how much do I need, like, Gleamermite to not die? And the answer is not at all. I have a ton of 2-drops, a ton of interaction. All right, I'm going for it. This is a series called Going For It. And if you're past a Dream Harvest, why not go for it? All right, I'll take Gleamermite here. The answer is because you might lose your gems. That's the reason not to go for it. But I am confident. Look, I'll say it right here, right now. I have a good shot at getting my gems back with this deck. Will I trophy? No. No. Especially not with this Thirst for Identity. Okay, I'll actually take the Prideful Feastling because it's an elf. right? So it counts towards Gloom Ripper and my various other random elf synergies. Taster of Wares. Okay, people were talking about this card, actually. I wish I had pack one, pick one this card, or, you know, I would have just not taken it and wheeled it, because it looks completely unplayable. Actually, oh no, but Taster of Wares is up against a Nightmare Sower? Okay, I have to be silly. I have to be silly. I have to take the Nightmare Sower. I didn't even notice that until just now. That's so sad, but I have to take the Nightmare Sower. Obviously, we're doing the Fairy thing. Taster of Wares is better, but hey, obviously I have to take the Nightmare Sower, right? Yeah, that Moonsong Aria, in some like incredibly burn heavy decks, people were saying it's actually not the worst. Okay, here I'll take Wild Unraveling. Basically, I'm like almost a mono blue deck. Let's probably play the Flaring Cinder, but cut the Changeling Wayfinder probably. And I will play both Wild Unravelings, I think. I can take a Moonglove Extractor. It is an elf. It might be better than something that I have. I guess I can take Dream Caesar. It's actually not. It has no fairy relevance. I guess I do have this Illusion Spinners, which is a fairy tribal card. But I'm probably going to cut maybe Marrow Sky Swimmer. I just have so many 5-drops. But yeah, the Moonsong Aria, apparently in like burn heavy decks, it's actually not the worst card you've ever seen. Only kind of close to it. Only almost the worst card you've ever seen. Probably cut Dream Caesar. Wow, my curve is just kind of bizarre. But remember, a bunch of these cards actually do have Convoke. So you can imagine that these 3 are all maybe 4-drops-ish. Something like that. Then we have 2 Blossom Binds, Glamour Gifter, Unwelcome Sprite, Creekwood Safe Right. What's our elf count looking like? I kind of want to cut the Moonglove Extractor. 7 elves is like pretty good support, actually. No notes, perfect deck. I'm sending it. I'm sending it. Sorry if there was a weird like screen flash there. Arena crashed and I accidentally unpaused while restarting it. That was it. Easy mulligan right there. And I'm just going to put back one of the worst cards in the set and we won't talk about that. All right, so Changeling Wayfinder, a little awkward in my deck. My whole deck is a little bit awkward, which I guess is just what happens when you try to draft fairies. But it would have helped us hit the second blue for the Flaring Cinder. As is, though, I really just want to play the Flaring Cinder, throw away a land, and get something more exciting. Wow. Okay, well, we're just churning through lands here. Wouldn't mind finding a 4-drop. Well, I don't have many of those, but a 5-drop with Convoke would do it. So that I can pitch another land to the Flaring Cinder. Just keep trying to get more stuff. Okay, that's actually a 5-drop. So, but the thing is, it's actually really interesting. Do I want to play this? So this thing is going to buff the Scarblade Scout. I faced exactly this combo in the Arena Direct. I think I will go ahead and play this guy. Just to not get totally overrun. I mean, Flaring Cinder would be nice. Draw 4, discard 2. I mean, sorry, Unexpected Assistance with the Flaring Cinder out would be nice. Draw 4, discard 2. So we have a question about, do we want to play around +3/+3, which would be a double block, +2/0 and Indestructible, which would be just block with Flaring Cinder, probably. I think that's the one I want to play around. All right. I really wanted that thing to die, and I'm glad that it's dead. Moonglove Extractor comes down. I have a good blocker for that. And, oh, very nice. So I'll actually just play the Changeling Wayfinder, go ahead and grab a Swamp, and I have Counterspell up, which is really nice. And yep, we can pretty much play anything in our deck now. And we have just shuffled in our Dream Harvest, so hopefully I have the Dream Harvest soon. Or what's it called? Something like that. The 7 mana play stuff off the top of their deck card. You can actually resolve that. I think that's fine. Disruptor of Currents, my dear friend. I love this play style. I just wish that the deck had come together a bit better. Someone took one of the fairy payoffs, but at that point I didn't really want to pivot into the most boring elves deck you've ever seen a million times before. Crossroads Watcher can come down, that's fine. Yeah, I just wish that I'd found more of the payoffs, basically. That would have been really nice. All right, see if they attack. Yeah, they do get to draw a bunch of cards. All right, I think I will disrupt their currents, tapping Changeling Wayfinder. so obvious that I have a counter spell now, but hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. I have to tap one of my blue. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that, actually. Okay, so in that case, I'll just block like this. I want to have my counter spell up because I'm sure they have a pump spell here. Don't they? I'm pretty sure they have a pump spell here. Do they really not? Scarblade's Malice. Okay. That's the kind of thing that I'll counter, right? The alternative actually... Now, this is kind of cool. The alternative is just bounce their Scarblade Scout and nullify that, and they cannot recast it. So I kind of like that. It would be 1, 2, tap this guy, 1, 2. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that. That was cool. They can't replay it this turn. I don't have a counter spell up now, but I actually can play both of my spells next turn, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Disruptive Currents can pay for the blue on unexpected assistance. Crossroads Watcher is a little annoying, though. Maybe I just tap that guy down. I feel like it's maybe a little bit too much pressure. And then in with the Feastling, because if I have to Wild Unraveling, I cannot also unexpected assistance even with the Feastling untapped. And now I'm definitely just going to block Moonglove Extractor with Disruptor. And honestly, if they have a pump spell or something and we end up trading, that's fine. That guy can definitely get countered, though. That guy can definitely get countered. I no longer feel as in control as I did a moment ago. Assert Perfection. And then you get to attack. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have attacked. Well, I wouldn't want to trade here anyways, so. But yeah, them getting more card advantage than my control deck is an issue for me. That is an issue for me, actually. The fact that they're getting more card advantage than I am, and I'm the control deck, I don't like that. Just being honest. All right, this Dream Harvest had better find some awesome stuff. It's so bad because it trades down on mana. It should be until they exile 7 mana of stuff, right? That would be more fair. Any creature, so I can have my own Marilyn? That's cool. Oh no, are you kidding me? And then you exile another 2, but you can't play another one. All right, well, I would like a Marilyn as well, please. Any creature on the battlefield. So I'll tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will copy Marilyn. So I'd like some cards, please. Okay, so I can Thought Weft charge my Prideful Feastling and attack, I guess. It's kind of cool. And draw a card. I think I do attack. Gain 5. And I have Swat Away if they attack me. Cool. That was cool. I like that. This is an interesting game. I don't think my deck is any good, but this is an interesting game. So this one, an Elf or Fairy. Marilyn is a Fairies card. I kind of forgot about that, actually. All right, and now they get 2 lands off the top. Okay, that's fine. Now, if they attack with Marilyn, putting it on top actually I think is good. Oh no, now they're going to get something right. Oh, they still exiled. No, they exiled an Unwelcome Sprite. That's rather annoying. Exiling 2 more cards, including a Gloom Ripper, but they cannot cast that. Okay, you can redraw that guy, I think. Actually, do I just want to block it? No, I don't really want them to redraw that. Let's resolve and block. Hopefully they didn't just draw something super combat relevant. But I don't really want them to redraw that and get to play it. This Marilyn is about to deck me, actually. Unfortunately. I'm about to get straight up decked by Marilyn. All right, so I'll go ahead and I could dream harvest them. That would be kind of fun. But I think let's try to deck them instead of them decking us. So I'll go ahead and play Iron Shield Elf. 9 cards left. Yeah, that's a little rough. Creekwood safe, right? This is so funny. This is pretty awesome. And what did I get? Unforgiving Aim and Bogsova's Embrace. That would have been a good one for them. Now, I could just swat away Marilyn, but then they get to recast it on their turn. I think I probably just go to their turn, but on their, let's see, on their upkeep, I don't want them to redraw Marilyn, probably on end step. Or maybe I can just swat away if they cast something. That's probably a better idea. Let's try that. Move to end, and then I think the safe right gets a trigger. Yeah, from my shapeshifter in the bin. Yeah, let's swat away if they cast an elf. That's the plan, rather than swatting away Marilyn. When they attack with safe right cavalry, what do I do? I'll go to attacks. Maybe just chump block. All right. Pass to blockers. Block here. Maybe I just chump block with Prideful Feastling. Or do I just take the damage? So this is likely... It could become a 8/8. I don't really want to trade everything. I could just swat it away after... If they triple pump it, I could just swat it away. That's kind of nice. Or double pump it, I mean. Oh, why don't I actually... Now, here is a cool, like, heads-up... Oh, it can only be blocked by one creature. I forgot about that. My heads-up play was going to be double block it, ask them to double pump to make it not die, and then swat away it. But no, I think let's just chump block. Now you're going to swat away, or you're going to pump your Marilyn, and then I will bounce your Marilyn. Hopefully this resolves. If they have +2/+2 and hexproof, then that's really annoying. Now my hope is I get to dream harvest them, exiling their Marilyn. That's pretty good, right? That's my idea. Dream harvest them, exiling their Marilyn. Don't hate it. Gain some HP. The only issue is that if I do exile their Marilyn, I do not get to play it. Oh, you know what I can do though? I could just play, yeah, Glenalendra Guardian, exile their Marilyn. Yeah, that's the thing I'm supposed to do. Play Glenalendra Guardian, exile their Marilyn. I guess I could have done that at instant speed, right? No, because I needed it to happen before they drew the Marilyn. That's the idea. Okay, cool. I don't hate it. And then do I just sit here and not do anything? Probably. That sounds about right. I mean, I guess I could attack for 4, right? I don't see a real reason not to. I'm planning on winning by decking, but I don't think I'm in grave imminent danger if I do this. So might as well get some free damage in, right? If they have a non-creature spell, Glenalendra Guardian is going to counter it after blocking the Unwelcome Sprite. What an awesome game. I love going for it. My deck is weaker than I would usually hope, but remember, our goal is just to get our gems back. All right. Up a game. Are there any... I think maybe I don't want to be playing the Changeling Wayfinder. Yeah, why don't we just go all fairies all the time? Dang, I wish I had a Marilyn. I wish I had Marilyn. Okay, let's just go all fairy game plan. On to the next one. All right, I mean, you know, the hand leaves something to be desired, but in the same way that the rest of the deck does. I will open with a Swamp because it's not like you can even hold up Wild Unraveling on turn 2, which, by the way, is what makes Wild Unraveling not a very good card. I guess I will play the Iron Shield Elf before the Creekwood Safe Right. Facing a lot of elves today, it seems. Just judging by my opponent's colors. Another Moonglove Extractor. Is this the same player or something? I don't think so. But that's an implausible number of Moonglove extractors to be up against. I'm just going to go ahead and play the Creekwood Safe Right. I don't really see a good reason to hold up Wild Unraveling instead of just developing my board. I will absolutely block Moonglove Extractor or just pitch a land. What is Moonglove? Are these Moongloves? All right, you do get a card and I lose a card. So on the whole, feels pretty good for my opponent, that little interaction. Pitch an island, kill your guy. Well, okay, they traded this thing that they spent 3 mana on for a land that I don't want, but they got a card back for it, but it cost them a life. That's why that card is not so good. Wow, is everyone playing Fairy Synergy today? Everyone said, you know what, it's the last day of Lorwyn. Time to play some Fairy Synergies. Wow. That's annoying. Yeah. That's annoying. I cannot Blossom Bind that guy. If you block, I'll maybe even pitch Prideful Feastling. But yeah, I didn't think that they would block. Now I will just go ahead and play Prideful Feastling. Because whatever they play, they'll probably play it on my turn so that they can kill Iron Shield Elf as a bonus, right? But at least that starts buffing my Creekwood Safe Right, and you can't really put -1/-1 counters on Creekwood Safe Right. All right, so I assume we're going to go to my turn. Yeah, you attack, get some lifelink, and then go to my turn. I assume. Eclipse Elf, that's a good one. That is a good one. All right, should I just play this? They're going to play a Mischievous Changeling, Mischievous Sneakling. So I will blight onto... If I blight onto Creekwood Safe Right, it'll die when they play their Mischievous Sneakling. So maybe for now, I blight on Prideful Feastling. Ah, that means I played things in the wrong order, doesn't it? Too bad. Because I should have been able to attack first. All right, I'll attack into the Sneakling. Because when they play it, they're going to put the counter on the Iron Shield Elf anyways. Okay. Maybe they want to... Okay, they didn't have a Sneakling. Interesting. Maybe it's not the best supported Nightmare Sower? Well, I dare not hope. I dare not hope. Making my Prideful Feastling worse was a little painful. The opponent is spending a long time in the tank before this one. Almost certainly don't block. They are just going to play something at instant speed and shrink one of my creatures. So I don't really see why I would try to get into combat on my turn. Doesn't really check out that I would do that. All right, now I think... wow, I kind of wish I could draw land, but okay. Sorry, that was on their turn. They thought for so long that in my head I thought it had gone to my turn. Okay, so this is when I don't want to get into combat. If I attack with Dream Caesar, they can just shrink it potentially. I'm just gonna lock this guy down because I don't really like how it has lifelink. So if they did, they didn't have Mischievous Sneakling. But if they did, it would be really bad to attack with either of those two creatures. But I actually don't really care about either one of those dying. Well, I guess they could play the Sneakling, give the Safe Right -1 and block it, or give the Feastling -1 and block it. They probably want to give Iron Shield Elf -1 and then block Prideful Feastling. I guess I'll go in with everything. I don't think it gives them an amazing block. Dawn's Light Archer, okay. And then I'll play another Iron Shield Elf, and then Creekwood Safe Right starts growing. I don't hate my situation. Their Nightmare Sower doesn't seem amazingly well supported. That was the first and only card that they've played with Flash. I will pitch this Dream Harvest in a heartbeat. Wow, I wish that I really, really wish that I could have had more lands. I guess I did pitch a land earlier on, but Dream Harvest is so bad, I can't really feel too sad about all that. Okay, after a long time in the tank, the opponent brought back Dawnslide Archer. And then we go to my turn, I assume. I just can't keep up a counter spell when I don't have lands, right? All right, they attack me. I'll block with the Iron Shield Elf and pitch Dream Harvest because I'm just never playing that realistically. I guess I'll hold up counter mana probably. But they're just slowly going to kill me. I need an answer for this Reaping Willow. Well, I guess if I get a flyer, but then I have the Dawnslide Archer problem. Okay, I'm getting lucky. Oh, that's nice. I'll double block. I'll pitch the Flaring Cinder to keep this guy alive. Are we at damage? Okay, they must have Unbury or something, so hopefully my counterspell comes in handy here. It's got to be Unbury, right? Gangly Stompling. I'm actually okay with that. Okay. This is kind of surprising. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, I'll hold everything back here. Now Creekwood Safe Ride is a blocker. All right, go to attacks. Noggle Robber. That's fine. You can Noggle Rob. I don't mind that. Okay, that's a good one. Now I get a flyer. And this does have flash because Prideful Feastling is a fairy. On a technicality, 4-power flyers back in the day when I used to play Magic, 15 years ago, anything with 4 power and flying was almost automatically a bomb. This is like a Sarah Angel, basically. So I still have a lot of respect for cards like this. They can win games in a hurry. This puts the opponent on a 4-turn clock. Oh, my deck is so bad. This is just why fairies didn't work in Lorwyn. It's just not good. And the fact that someone else at the table might have been in fairies as well. So you're going to give this +2/+2 and fight Creekwood Safe Right? I do not like that idea at all. So let's just counter that. They might have another good card in their hand because they've been thinking for a long time. I assume they have other options here. Are they going to attack? Do they have a pump spell? Looks like no. Okay. All right. Youch. That's annoying. Maybe I just attack with Iron Shield Elf. If I put them to 12, they're on a 3-turn clock. Yeah. Sounds good. And Iron Shield Elf is very weak to them drawing any flash card. It's aggressive, but, for example, Prideful Feastling could always block, like, Dawnslide Archer, buy me a little bit of time. All right, so I'm going to have them on a 3-turn clock after this turn. I don't have a counter spell anymore, so if Creekwood Safe Right gets into combat, it is a little risky. All right. I think I'll just block Gangly Stompling, take 7. There's no one pump spell that kills me here. If there's a pump spell, they're probably going to spend it on the Stompling, right? Scarblade's Malice. Okay. So you get a 2/2 back and a bunch of health. The health is annoying to me. But I just have really good blockers, right? End of turn, I'll flash this guy in. Maybe my attack was too aggressive. Ooh, Omni Changeling. Yeah, maybe I'll make my own Nightmare Sower. That sounds kind of good. That sounds kind of good, right? So now, how aggro do I want to get? I want to get pretty aggro. They don't have any trample. So maybe I attack with Iron Shield Elf here. Or actually, I'd rather attack with Illusion Spinners. If I attack with Illusion Spinners, Iron Shield Elf will block the Noggle Robber. Yeah, I really want Illusion Spinners to block the 2/2. Iron Shield Elf can block the 4/2. Prideful Feastling has to chump, unfortunately. But I gain life. I really want to be aggressive, but Illusion Spinners doesn't even really put them on a clock. That's the unfortunate thing. Because Dawnslide Archer is going to untap soon. So maybe I just go ahead and trade. No, because it just means that Dawnslide Archer can't attack, right? What if they have +2/+0 and trample? Then I'm just dead pretty much no matter what, right? I have to make really bad blocks. They would have to top deck that as well. I could also copy the Illusion Spinners. I don't think that's the way to go. Okay, for now, I'm not going to attack. Copy Nightmare Sower. Maybe next turn I can start attacking with Nightmare Sower, basically. Although Nightmare Sower is really good in my deck. Maybe I can just sit here and try to keep it around. I'm just worried that, you know, they have so many combat tricks and higher card quality than I do, frankly. I'm just worried that eventually they just draw like a +2/+0 and trample or something like that. So my days are numbered, even if I have card advantage ultimately on my side. If they attack, can I play around +2/+0 and trample? Maybe Iron Shield Elf. Maybe just throw in a Prideful Feastling to just raise my life total a little bit and make it really hard for them to trample over me. Looks like they have a removal spell. Wow, that's so annoying. That's really annoying. Their deck is low on creatures, but so... Well, not low on creatures, but it's just so high on interaction. So high on interaction. This is a player who loves interactive spells. Okay, well, I think just block, block, and block like that sounds good to me. If they can... Yeah, I think this is good. And I'll pitch my island. Okay. I don't hate it, but let's see what this last card is. Oh my goodness. All right. So if I attack with Illusion Spinners, if they have something to play on my turn, and I attack with Illusion Spinners, then I just die. But they haven't shown me... Well, they have shown me Dawnslide Archer. They could have Unbury as well. They could have another Blight Rot. Playing the Blight Rot on their turn was strange, because they could have just killed my Iron Shield Elf. I think maybe I have to just trade Illusion Spinners for the Noggle Robber. Or not. Let's see. Let's see. I think I have to wait one turn because, okay, that just revealed that they did not have a flash card. So now they can only play something with flash or an instant if they top decked it. If they have removal for the Iron Shield Elf, which would specifically have to come in the form of -1/-1 counters, I think, or exiling, they cannot target Illusion Spinners. So I still can block Noggle Robber with Illusion Spinners and trade them off. Not a trade I'm happy to make, but in a pinch, it's the trade I would make. I feel like I have no right going toe-to-toe with their deck. I don't have a single card anywhere near as good as Eclipse Elf, for example. Pitiless Fist is so good. Reaping Willow is so good. Noggle Robber is so good. Will they attack me? Very interesting. Kind of screams that they have a trample trick, but... maybe it's not a trample trick because they thought for a long time. I just don't want to throw away Illusion Spinners to play around trample. Blight Rot. Okay. All right, then. You don't have trample, though, so I don't die. I assume this is a land. They're doing a lot of nothing. Wow, I'm doing a lot of nothing. Holy smokes. Dream Harvest is gone, so I don't even get anything for having 7 mana. Oh, this is unfortunate. Okay, well, now I'll trade Illusion Spinners for the Noggle Robber. Would love to have drawn, I don't know, like Unexpected Assistance or anything like that. I do have my own Nightmare Sower, but it's not very useful here. I could get Gloom Ripper, right? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I have to block, otherwise I die. And if they play essentially any creature here, I'm dead. Kind of needed to have some more active draws. Well, that's a rough one. If I'd had that one turn earlier, I would have just saved my Illusion Spinners. But if we can draw another creature after this... Oh, okay. Awesome. Yep, okay. Well, I could throw it in and chump, but I'm getting pretty tired of this game. Let's go on to another one. Actually, no, chumping I was exactly dead because that thing has trample. I was actually feeling kind of optimistic about that game at one point. So that's too bad. I guess I'll keep this. Kind of a fun control hand, right? Cancel is not that good in limited these days, unfortunately, so... But being on the play makes it better. I can cancel their 3-drop. Oh, Unwelcome Sprite. That makes cancel a lot better. Yeah, okay. This is what I wanted this deck to do. This is very much what I wanted this deck to do. Encumbered Reachery is okay. It's okay. I have Swat Away for that if they attack me with it. Or I could save up for Wild Unraveling. I really want to Surveil here. I really want to draw a card. So yeah, let's just swat away this guy. We'll see if it resolves. I do get a cast trigger. They're just thinking about whether to respond to my Surveil, which you should not do in general. Yeah, so the opponent made a mistake here, and it's a subtle one, but I do want to point it out. And I know it's kind of silly for me to be pointing out minor things when I'm like messing around, but we're trying to learn about Magic today. This is the real point of going for it. They want to do this bounce before Swat Away, which let's forget about whether it's even a good bounce or not. They want to do it before Swat Away resolves. But the fact that they played it while this ability is on the stack means now I just got free information. I know about this Flock Imposter while I'm deciding about my Surveil. There are many situations where that could be a big deal. Not this situation, because I just want to land and neither of those are lands. But there's no reason for you to give me that info before I make my decision. You should have let this one resolve, then play your Flock Imposter, then the Swat Away would resolve. Okay? All right. That's my speech. Okay, and then we get our land. I will go ahead and play a Dream Caesar and Blight and have them discard. I think, right? Yeah, I think I like that. I do wish I had a better card to Blight onto. But that's all right. Now my hope is that I just draw a swamp and then I could play Gloom Ripper, give the Flock Imposter -2 because Gloom Ripper will count itself as well as this elf that we put in the bin. But we'll see. I mean, that specifically requires me to draw one of 7 remaining swamps in my deck, so that's not the most likely, which is fine. Tributary Vault is really good here. Okay, that's rather annoying. Rather annoying. I think I still go for it. So I'll play Gloom Ripper. I will give +2 to my creature, -2 to their creature. And then if they want to trade, I accept, but probably we're just getting 4 damage through. Do like Gloom Ripper. I'm happy that I got past that one. All right, managed to push 4. And the next turn Gloom Ripper is going in. All right, they hit their land. Now I'm just going to try to hold up Wild Unraveling basically for the whole rest of the game. Oh, do they have Liminal Holds? That would be annoying. That would be annoying. They hit 4 mana and highlighted my Gloomripper. That sounds like a liminal hold to me, but we'll see. If I had destroy target enchantment, that would be nice, because then you get the enters trigger from the Gloomripper again after destroying liminal hold. But we'll see. We'll see what they've got. Encumbered Reejerey. That is not a liminal hold. I'm happy to report that it's not a liminal hold. Oh, Disruptor. Yeah, okay. So I can do fun things like attack with Gloomripper, and if they double block, I bounce something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can hold up Wild Unraveling after all that. Okay, I like that. I like that. Now, they might just not block, but that's fine too, because then I can Disruptor of Currents, bouncing one of their creatures and blocking the other one. And I do have the second blue this time to pay for 2 blue for Wild Unraveling, 2 blue for Disruptor, and tap my Dream Caesar and 2 lands. I do have to Blight onto Gloomripper, that's the only thing. Actually, I could Blight onto 2 Disruptor if I want to, but I probably won't because it's probably blocking a 2/2. So will I go to attackers? Maybe not, actually. Maybe I actually don't, now that I think about it, because if they get to attack, they can make their Wanderbrine Preacher a 4/2, and Encumbered Reejerey is a 3/2, so I don't actually get to eat a card that way. So let's tap, 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 tap. Surveil 2. Now, if they do something in response, it's the same mistake, so they should just let this resolve. And they did this time. Oh, Nightmare Sower, but I don't have enough mana to do that and Wild Unraveling. I love Omni Changeling with Gloomripper, though. You do get the Enters trigger. I actually wonder if it's still worth playing the Nightmare Sower. Probably not. Probably not. That doesn't seem so strong. So let's go with Omni Changeling, yes. Nightmare Sower, no. And this is going to resolve because even if they have a counterspell, I'll counter their counterspell, right? Okay, so here, do I bounce Tributary Vaulter or maybe Wanderbrine Preacher? I think I'll bounce the Vaulter. Because this means if they try to recast it, I get to counter it. And otherwise, they would be able to push damage with one of these cards. They probably wouldn't. But the other thing is, this enables me to get 4 damage through in the air, and actually more than 4, because I'm about to copy a Gloomripper, I hope. What'll it be? What will it be? They just let it resolve, okay. All right, well, I'm at 20, so I have absolutely no possible reason to block this. I guess they're just trying to grow their creature. I will totally counter the Tributary Vaulter if they cast it again. Absolutely. No questions asked. And then I think I win if they spend their mana here. So I'm going to Blight 2. Oh, I forgot it was Blight 2. I thought it was Blight 1. Okay. I'll Blight 2 onto Disruptor just to push the maximum damage, right? Because I'm going to attack with Gloomripper next turn, and I can buff one of the flyers and kill. Yeah, I think I win, definitely. I don't think there's anything for 1 mana here. So it actually doesn't really matter. Surveil, I like all that. I guess I'll just... Sure, that's fine. Almost certain I just win. Yeah. I'm about to Omni Changeling my Gloomripper, killing their Wanderbrine Preacher, giving +3 to something. Sounds like a win. Remember, we're just trying to make our gems back, but this has definitely reminded me of why fairies is such a struggle in Lorwyn. Just such a struggle. All right, I'm shooting for 2 more wins. If I win 2 before I lose 2, I'm happy. Most episodes of Going For It are a little bit more shoot for the moon, a little bit more build around-y. But I will say, I really wanted to try fairies out again, knowing what I know about the format now. And it's still hard. It's still a struggle. The cards are just understated. There's not that much synergy. There are not that many cards that care about being a fairy, and they didn't even print that many fairies. So very tough lane to try to land in. This is a good hand though. I'll definitely keep this one. All right, what are these sleeves? Upside down dog. I don't hate it. All right, I'll go ahead and play Creekwood Safe right into Prideful Feastling. It's a totally sweet hand, actually. And then we have Disruptor of Currents, Glamour Gifter, just all sorts of action. Glamour Gifter on the Prideful Feastling is kind of sweet to get extra Lifelink, that's a very good one, though. It's a great card. That is a great, great card. All right, they got a Mischievous Sneakling. They could have gotten something scarier. They could have gotten something scarier. And no attacks. I guess, actually, that was a mistake. I could have attacked with... Yeah, I actually blundered there. I could have attacked with Creekwood Safe Right, and if they block, play Glamour Gifter. That's actually probably a better line. I sort of thought about it for a second and then thought, no, I just want to do the mana efficient thing without really giving voice to that. But now I want to say I actually probably should have gone with the other one. All right, here I think I will attack. I think I'll attack with Prideful Feastling. Mischievous Sneakling and then another Mischievous Sneakling. That would be fun. So if they double block, yeah, another Mischievous Sneakling. That's so funny. All right, so now I'm going to Disruptor of Currents, right? Are they going to triple block? That's so cool. Triple blocking, you say? I wonder. Yeah, that's probably what I would do, actually. It does start buffing my Creekwood Safe Right, though. That's part of why I got myself into this mess. So I think I'm just going to bounce. So I could bounce a Mischievous Sneakling, but it actually doesn't do anything, right? So I guess I do play Glamour Gifter. Make this a 4/4, kill 2 Mischievous Sneaklings. I think that's correct. I think that's better. Because the whole point of all this, the reason I did this attack, knowing that they had some shenanigans because they had a Mischievous Sneakling and hadn't done anything on their whole turn 4, the reason I did this is it's synergistic with Creekwood Safe Right. And I have plenty of tricks of my own, so I didn't feel like I was going to get blown out. There we got a 2-for-1, gained 4 life, and got synergy for our Creekwood Safe Right, so I'm feeling good about that. But having said that, there are reasons the opponent did that surely as well. So they might be about to unbury, for example, so that they also get value from this whole thing. I would not be surprised at all. Another Eclipse Boggart. Disruptor of Currents is looking so weak. They were really smart to triple block, by the way. Kudos to the opponent. Getting another Eclipse Boggart. Wow, that's unreal. That is unreal. Okay, well, in with Glamour Gifter. Drop a Nightmare Sower. And then Disruptor of Currents is looking good. Get a 4/4 Creekwood. I don't really want to attack with the Creekwood Safe Right, even though I would eat an Eclipse Boggart, because Disruptor of Currents is about to get better if I play it during their turn. And bouncing their Eclipse Boggart is not value for me, right? They just get to replay Eclipse Boggart. All right, another Eclipse Boggart. Wow, their draft table was just swimming in Eclipse Boggarts. Getting a Swamp. Okay, well, good. At least it's not another Eclipse Boggart, right? Twilight Diviner. Okay, so now there's something where if they try to do a Dose of Dawnglow, I can bounce their Twilight Diviner so that they don't get the copy, right? I assume that's why you would play Twilight Diviner, is you have some synergies. Although 3/3 for 3 that surveils is not bad either. But okay, in with these two. Still don't really want to be bouncing Eclipse Boggarts or anything like that, so just going with these two and it's just fine. And end. And I have a 5/5 to block with, and also could flash in a Disruptor of Currents, making something smaller as well. Interesting. Okay. All right, well, I'll surely go ahead and block. I don't really want to play Disruptor before damage, though. Are they going to tweeze my Creekwood Safe Right? It's probably something like that. Reaping Willow. Bring back an Eclipsed Boggart. I see, I see. Yeah, Reaping Willow is a sweet one with Twilight Diviner. Okay, so that can resolve. And then you bring back your Eclipse Boggart. You don't have any Blight or anything. I have to not put -1/-1 counters on the Reaping Willow. This does give you more Surveil. Pretty annoying that their whole deck is based around Enters effects and blighting and removing -1/-1 counters and stuff. But okay, they get more value. Good for them. Very, very lovely for them. Okay, I can play a Dream Caesar to get some stuff out of their hand. I can blight for free onto Creekwood Safe Right, but they have a mountain in their hand, so I'm not too enthusiastic about that. Let's just go ahead and Dream Harvest them. Not a good card. Oh, Colraz Zealot. That's a sweet one to hit off of Dream Harvest. Yeah, let's go ahead and play that. Sounds fine. Getting an Iron Shield Elf. And then I'll attack with these two. Bonk and bonk. All right. This is a fun game. I'm having fun. If they can blight onto Reaping Willow, then we start getting into trouble. But, you know, it's actually not that scary that they're getting a bunch of mischievous sneaklings. I mean, one other thing I could do maybe is I could have allowed them to... Maybe I should have done it this way. Goliath Daydreamer. What is their deck? We're all just going for it today in the Lorwyn best of one queues. Okay, clearly they have some instants and sorcery, so they've been saving up here, right? Shadow Urchin, so they can blight onto the Reaping Willow. Yeah, so I was going to say the other thing that I could have done is allow them to bring back the mischievous sneakling, then bounce the token. Okay, so first of all, I definitely want to play this Iron Shield Elf. The only thing is, I can't also play Dream Caesar then and hold up mana for Wild Unraveling. They don't seem to have an instant or sorcery with the Goliath. Well, maybe they would have actually saved it. Yeah, maybe they actually would have saved it. So the alternative would be I play Iron Shield Elf, play Dream Caesar. Dang, I'm 1 mana short. It's too bad. It's very unlikely that I get to make them discard another card, right? Maybe I just don't care that much about Iron Shield Elf. That sounds very possible. I'm going to go ahead and play this guy. Let's see what they discard. That's the other consideration. See what they discard. Now, I could attack with Kulrath Zealot as well, actually. So if they discard Twilight Diviner, I really want to have a counter spell up because I'm scared of that last card. Here, do I care about Twilight Diviner? Maybe it's fine to just play an Iron Shield Elf. I think the answer is no. I think Iron Shield Elf is a dream that will not happen. I really want to have up Wild Unraveling in case they're able to kill one of these cards. If they find like Tweeze or something though, it's actually really bad because I get to recast it off of the Daydreamer. But then still they only get to kill one of my creatures. Because I can counter the other Tweeze cast or the copy. So Twilight Diviner comes down. Now the question is, do I allow this to happen? And I think the answer is it doesn't interfere with my game plan. They do get to Surveil. But if I can just do 6 damage next turn, I have them almost dead in the air. Although Reaping Willow does give them more. So this can also bring Twilight Diviner back from the bin. I guess I will counter this. It's kind of hard to say, but I think I will counter this. So Shadow Urchin, creature with 1 or more counters on it dies. Exile that many cards on the top of your library. I guess I'll just give that one -1. The thing is, Shadow Urchin can start blighting onto Reaping Willow, and then they can bring back the Twilight Diviner. But basically, my idea is, as long as they're not... If I can just push off how long it takes them to find answers to my flying army, then I have them on a pretty short clock. 1 attack with Reaping Willow, and it should be dead. If they attack right now, I want to kill the Goliath Daydreamer and the Shadow Urchin. But I also really want to kill the Reaping Willow. I might just triple block Reaping Willow because of the lifelink and how that changes their clock. Looks like they're staring at their library. I assume they have ways of blighting, or they just drew Unbury off the top, which would be really annoying, or Dose of Donglo. That's very frustrating. That's very frustrating. The fact that they just top decked such a synergistic, fantastic card for what they're trying to do right now is obviously very frustrating. So now they can attack and Dose of Donglo again. All right, well, the good news is they didn't find an answer to my flyers. That's the good news. So Reaping Willow is going to rip something out of the bin. Then they're going to attack with it. Then they're going to bring it back with Dose of Donglo. They're going to go to 7. I'm going to bring them back down to 1. And then we'll just see what happens from there, basically. Their deck is cool. They're definitely also memeing around and going for it, which is fun. You'll love to see it. Goliath, Daydreamer, Reaping Willow, Twilight Diviner, Dose of Dawn-Glow. It's cool. Last day of the format. Everyone's having fun. Shadow Urchin. Just wish that they hadn't top decked the perfect card, you know? You have to attack with Reaping Willow. Okay, so Dose of Dawn-Glow is going to bring back the Reaping Willow. What I need to do is just kill Goliath Daydreamer. And probably also kill Shadow Urchin. Shadow Urchin they can bring back with the Reaping Willow. So maybe I kill the Reaping Willow. Oh, they can only cast it right now. They can only cast it right now. So they cannot bring back Reaping Willow with this. Okay, that's really good for me, actually. And I do have a lot of HP. So they're about to tap out, which is nice. Gives me lots of info. So let me go ahead and block the Reaping Willow with Colorado Zealot. Oh no, they're not, because it's without paying its mana cost. You also have something else? Okay. So now they get to exile. Oh, their deck is awesome. That's cool. I wish I drafted their deck, but I kind of did yesterday. If you look at my video yesterday, it was a lot like that. Oh, and they got the... Okay, it just deals 1 damage to each opponent. They don't actually drain me. Kind of wish I had Glamour Gifter. Explosive Prodigy off the top? My goodness. I mean, that... Okay, well, whatever. I mean, they clearly just had so much value there. How do I win this? What do I have left that could win it for me? I already Dream Harvested. Let's see. Gloom Ripper? If I could find Gloom Ripper off the top. 1, 2, yeah, I might actually be able to push enough damage. I guess that's my hope. Yep, I guess that's my hope. Okay, so I'll block that guy. Take the rest, I suppose. They're gonna Vivid Prodigy, etc., etc., etc. Don't tell me. You top decked a Restless Ransacking? Okay, well, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's kind of cool to fall to such an awesome deck. And also, I respect that they were going for it. But, and also my deck gave them a lot of chances by just being bad. But the last, just compare the quality of the last 3 draws that they had to the quality of the last 3 draws that I had. I feel like we got a little bit roughed over there. Like, I could have drawn like Glamourmite, Glenolendra, Guardian, Voracious Tome-Skimmer, another Wild Unraveling, Swat Away. I could have drawn Gloom Ripper, Illusion Spinners, Unexpected Assistance into one of those other cards. But instead I drew, you know, whatever, land, and a bunch of non-interactive stuff. My deck is full of not very good cards, so that'll definitely happen, but I really feel like we got, our deck kind of let them go off by giving me all of my worst cards and none of the, frankly, like a lot of different resources that I had. But that definitely happens, and we got them to a very low life total, so, you know. You're always, when you get them that low, you're always like one thing going right away from winning. So that can definitely be tantalizing, but... Okay, so this is kind of cool. The Fairies deck. This is the Fairies game plan. And Iron Shield Elf is an awesome draw. It just kind of keeps me in the game while I try to set up something much more fancy. All right, on to my turn. Go ahead and play a land and attack. Okay, it's really time for me to draw a land, please. It's really time for me to draw a land. Go ahead and attack. So they have a 4/2 flash. They have the 4/2 flash. I'll still attack into it because I'm actually winning that race, I believe, especially with Swat Away. All right, you can land it. If you want to learn to read what's in your opponent's hand like me, go ahead and click subscribe. I draft every single day. Try to talk through my decision making and how I know things like when my opponent has a 4/2 flash very clearly. I try to talk through them very, very clearly. I think I'll go ahead and just play the Nightmare Sower and attack with Voracious Tome-Skimmer, take the potential 6 damage. And then from then on, I'm holding up Wild Unraveling plus Swat Away, and I'm going to pitch Dream Harvest. Block the Dawnslide Archer with the Iron Shield Elf, pitch Dream Harvest, unless they play a land pre-combat. then I actually might still do that because it asks them to spend their whole turn just keeping their Dawnslide Archer alive. And what am I trading for it? A terrible card. So yeah, I think that's worth it. I think I still will do it. Just don't like assert perfection me, please. Just hoping they attack with both. Thoughtweft Lieutenant. Okay. Okay. Changeling Wayfinder. Okay. So that thing has trample now? Okay. Okay. All right. So I just have to chump block, right? I'll just chump block. All right, easy chump. Block, and let's pitch the Dream Harvest. Easy enough. Take 6. There you go. Play a land, which lets me Wild Unraveling plus Swat Away. No, I didn't get there. That's too bad. I don't think I have attacks. Black mana, eh? Okay, interesting. Okay, so they attack with both. Block there. I assume they're gonna pump it. No? Okay. Then I'll probably just pitch... Do I? I might just trade here. Maybe I just swat away their guy then. Swat away the Safe Ride Cavalry. Lose 1 draw, put a -1/-1 counter on probably Thoughtweft Lieutenant, I would guess. Maybe the Changeling Wayfinder. I could also put it on Dawnslide Archer so that if they pump the Archer, it dies. But I think we're just headed for a trade here. Well, okay, if they pump Dawnslide Archer, then it's actually bad for me, right? So, okay, I'll put it there. Not exactly what I want to be doing, but I will take that action, even though it puts me pretty low. That guy goes away. Okay, now I can pitch an island to save that guy. Very nice. That was good. Happy with how that turned out. And then they play another Safe Ride Cavalry, and I am tapped down off of blue. Awesome. That's so cool. And then they can bring back their Dawnslide Archer. Yeah, okay. Well, that's tough. And I draw land. Awesome. Okay, well, I have nothing to say about that. I assume they attack. I'll simply block and give this guy indestructible. And then it's actually kind of cool. We pass the damage. This thing goes to 1 HP. They play the other one. And then I Wild Unraveling it, countering that, and putting a -1 counter on the Safe Ride Cavalry. So that's nice, right? But then I think they named Elf so they can actually bring one of them back. So we didn't completely get rid of them, but we kind of got rid of them. Oh, Blossom Bind is a nice find. That is a nice find. All right, go to my turn. Now, I think I want to... So this thing is going to bring back one of those Safe Ride Cavalries, but it takes a turn to cast it. I think I just attack with Nightmare Sower. I don't really want to die here. So let's just do some simple little life linking. And then I'll play an Unwelcome Sprite. Now, if they can play a Kithkin, they can start trampling, but I think they're just going to want to bring back the Safe Ride Cavalry and cast it next turn. Technically, they could find a 2-mana Kithkin. Oh, they played the 4/2 because they don't like all of my flying. Okay. I do not hate that. That means that they're feeling like they're in a defensive position. All right, go to my turn. Now, maybe I just attack with Iron Shield Elf, although that's really what I want to block with. Maybe I just attack with Unwelcome Sprite, because I highly doubt they're actually going to block that one. Let's do that. I don't think they're going to flash in their Elf and block it. Yep, I like that. So now they'll play the Elf. See, this I'm liking. If the Fairy Sect did this more often, Voracious Tome-Skimmer plus a Nightmare Sower plus Unwelcome Sprite, if that's what the deck was about, I would love it. Okay, that guy is going to get Blossom Bound for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Although, maybe not. Maybe I just Blossom Bind Dawn's Light Archer and get to start attacking with Nightmare Sower. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Because then I start getting a bunch of lifelink online. I do wish I could draw anything that wasn't a land. That would be nice. But okay. Attack, attack. Honestly, maybe I just hold back the 2-3. No, let's attack with all three. Put them on a 1-turn clock. Sounds way better. Bonk, bonk, and bonk. And then I actually am going to go ahead and play the land. I guess I already got rid of Dream Harvest, but feels like the right thing to do, I think. Maybe not. I don't think I'm going to be needing to discard multiple times to Iron Shield Elf here, almost no matter how this game goes. I don't think it's going to get into that many combats. All right, I'll go to blockers, block that guy, pitch a land. And if I do have to discard something that has value, so be it. All right, go to 7. I have you dead in the air. Yep, all right. Okay, we got there. Yeah. If my deck goes 3 and 3, fair enough. I think I better cut this Dream Harvest. It's just so bad. I love cards like that. But we're just, we don't have the stats to make it work. Maybe I just play like a Stratosaur or something. Could be Kulrath Mystic. Maybe that would have been better than Dream Harvest in a lot of these games. Let's go with that. All right, another rough hand. I'll keep this one and probably just put back Nightmare Sower. If I can draw a swamp and play the Iron Shield Elf, then I'm going to be happy to have access to that when I play Glamour Gifter. Oof. Yeah, this is not looking like it's going my way. I can flash in the Glamour Gifter and block Wanderbrine Trapper. It might honestly be worth it. But Kulrath Mystic does a pretty good job of keeping the Trapper tapped down. This is rough, though. This is rough. Maybe just swat away the Wanderbrine Trapper. The problem with using swat away like this is it's supposed to be a tempo card. I think I'll just take this and play a Kulrath Mystic. It's supposed to be a tempo card. If you're playing it when you have absolutely nothing going on, you are losing. You are losing if you do that. You're just one for zeroing yourself in that situation. Rhymekin Recluse. Yeah, they got me. I cannot imagine pulling this one out. I feel a little disappointed because this is my first fairies deck in a month since the very early format. And it felt like I should be able to figure out what makes a fairies deck tick here. But I kind of walked myself into a corner by not being able to pivot once someone took the Voracious Tome-Skimmer. Okay, what do you have? I'll just take it. I don't want to get River Guard's Reflexes when I have a Swat Away and a Glamour Gifter in my hand. Gravelgill Scoundrel is just going to push lethal next turn. Another island. Yeah, awesome. Okay. I mean, next turn they can just not attack with the Wanderbrine Trapper, tap my whatever I target with the Glamour Gifter, you know, tap Kulrath Mystic after I pump it. Yeah, so yeah, after the Voracious Tome-Skimmer didn't wheel, I definitely should have pivoted. It's just like I was looking for another thing to do for this like fun type of draft and could not find it. So there was just nothing else in the packs that seemed interesting or enjoyable. So, oh well, you can't always go for it. The packs don't always give you something to go for. And basically what we found is one of those major weaknesses of Lorwyn where you can't really play an off-meta deck unless you really have all the stars align. So hopefully the next time they do something like this, I think there was a lot of promise to this idea of a 5 archetype set where the other 5 colors are less tribal and like bleed over the edges a little bit more. But I'm not a game designer, not a professional here, but I really feel like it was an issue that they didn't give the other color pairs any identity or any signposts on common or they only had one signpost uncommon that had hybrid mana pips, whereas all the other color pairs, the supported tribal ones, had a hybrid as well as a firmly you have to be in this color pair. And the cards are just bad. Like, look at the card quality here. I did think that Dream Caesar would be good, but the problem is it's understated, a little slow, and gets even more understated when you have to blight, and the support is not there. If the whole color pair is understated flyers, overcosted, understated flyers, then the fact that any given common is one of those makes it even worse, because it's like, on one turn, I play an understated card. Next turn, I play an understated card. Next turn, I play an understated card. The issues compound. So, goodbye, Lorwyn. This deck was a nice illustration of why I won't miss the format that much. It was really hard to color outside the bounds in this format. If you do want to see a video where it was super fun and it worked really, really well, go check out my last video. I'll link that one right here. And tomorrow, well, I guess the Ninja Turtles unlock. I'll try playing a little bit of that. And we'll see what kind of flashback drafts I have going on. So until then, have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.